You lot have been asking me to cover this for a while now, and I'm here to deliver because this is one of the most outrageous, disturbing stories I've heard in the entertainment industry in my life. Gen Z's next big star, David, spelled D4VD, just got exposed for having a relationship with a 14-year-old girl, and even worse, much worse, believe it or not, the girl was just found dismembered in the trunk of his car. Yeah, this one is fucking mind-blowing. So this is David here, real name David Anthony Burke. He grew up in quite a religious household. The one thing that I noticed that was quite different is that he was homeschooled from the age of 13. I mean, there's an advert for why kids need to socialize. Fucking hell. But despite listening to like gospel music when he was growing up, he grew to like artists like Lil Pump, XXXTentacion, and he fell in love with anime. And he started his journey into entertainment in Fortnite. Actually, he was playing video games, uploading footage online, and he would get copyright because he was using artist music in the background, so he decided to make his own music. And he seemed to have learned that all himself, like tutorials off of YouTube, doing it on his phone, just recording it into his phone. And two of his tracks actually went viral, one of them being called Romantic Homicide. Just keep that in mind, yeah? Both of those tracks have surpassed 1.5 billion streams on Spotify. He got a record deal with Interscope out of it, and he has 33 million Spotify listeners per month. Now, just to put that into context, KSI is very big on YouTube, obviously. He's got about 10 million Spotify listeners per month. So this kid, in America especially, is massive. And I hope that gives some context, because I know some of you might not know who he is, because you're either old like me or have great taste in music like me. But this kid's only 20 years old, right? So he's making music for teenagers. And just to show you how loved he is, he has a couple of clips of him doing shows.
Y'all know it's the biggest show on tour so far. So thank you for that. I see y'all all the way in the back in the stands, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I
It's a bit weird. Yeah. And Spotify even made a documentary about this kid to invest in his career, right? These companies are looking at him thinking this is going to be a massive star for years to come. You get the point. They fucking love him. Not sure if they love him now, because shit's changed a lot since this was recorded. Because David went on a world tour, and weeks into this world tour, his car was found impounded because it had just been left somewhere on a street, and a body was found in the trunk of a car. And originally, it was reported that the body was found dismembered. Now, when this originally came out, no one knew who the body was, or if it was a male or female, anything like that. He just went on and performed that very night as if nothing was happening. Never made no acknowledgement of it during the show. Nothing. The only thing that changed about his show is usually like the themes of his show is very much about death, and he's trying to be edgy, right? So he has like a hearse pull up outside of his events, and there's like a coffin in the event and stuff like that. It's very dramatic. Now, he didn't do that for this event, but that was the only change. And you think to yourself, A, your obsession with death is quite weird, but artists try and be edgy all the time. And B, and more importantly, a dead body was just found in your car and you're just going on and performing anyway. That was weird. But actually, it kind of gave the impression that nothing was really wrong because he was behaving as if nothing was wrong. People started speculating maybe the car was stolen, and then after it was stolen, something bad happened with the car. And the car was a Tesla, so like there's probably recordable footage that they can get from the car, which, you know, would immediately identify if he was the problem. And he's cooperating with the police, so there can be no problem because no one would do a live show if they were involved in this. That would be mental. Now, the body in the car was so decomposed that they couldn't even detect the eye color, the ethnicity, or even the age of the person in the car. It was that bad. And early reports after the show, I think, did describe the body of a female with wavy black hair. It also weighed approximately 71 pounds. Now, the average woman of America weighs 171 pounds. So this was a very light, small female. And I think that probably raised a lot of questions immediately of like, what the fuck is going on here? Because if this had been like some sort of gang who'd stolen a car and then killed a guy and put the body, that would have been like, shit happens. But like a really tiny female, that just doesn't just happen. I'm so sexist. If a guy died, no one would give a fuck. It's true though. That's the way people think. Apparently she was wearing a tube top, black leggings, a yellow metal chain and stud earrings, and they just could not identify her because of how badly decomposed she was. It took days. But after further testing, 9 days later, they were able to identify the girl as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was actually reported missing at the time and was only 15 years old. The tragic thing is that due to the level of decomposition, she would have been dead for such a long time that her birthday would have actually passed during that time. And the reality is, she would have died when she was 14 years old, which is fucking chilling. This is a picture of the young girl here, and I mean, just a very innocent looking photograph, and horrific to think how she ended up chopped up in the car of this David guy. Here's another photo of her. I mean, there's actually quite a lot out there. Is this a school photo, it looks like? I mean, just horrendous. Such a young girl, and to die in such a horrendous way. Now, according to TMZ, it wasn't uncommon for Celeste to run away from home. She'd been reported missing multiple times, although not to this degree. It had been over a year, apparently, since her family had last seen her, and this is the last footage that they had on her, of her on CCTV walking down the street here in March of 2024, as we've highlighted out here, she runs away. And imagine you're her family and you've got this as your last footage of her alive, essentially. I mean, it's horrendous. And when this news breaks, the internet does what it does, and it starts looking into things. And the first thing I think people really looked into was one of David's music videos. So this is David dressed up as his alter ego in the music video, dragging his own dead body along. At first glance, it's just another artist trying to be edgy. But the reason people paid special attention to this is because of what happens to the body. They put it in the trunk of the car. I get why people are pointing that out. It's dark, and something dark has just happened in his actual life that is very similar to that. Is there a link there? Maybe, but there isn't any proof. But believe me, the more we look into this, the more proof reveals itself, and the worse it looks. This article is then published by TMZ. David and victim have matching tattoos. What are the odds of that? And you see here the shush tattoo he's got on his finger. Singer David has a tattoo on his finger with the letters shush, and the young girl's body found in the Tesla has the same tattoo on her finger. The young girl is identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and authorities have said the tattoo on her right finger with the letters shush is the same as David's tattoo. I'll be honest, at that point I was like, he's fucking guilty. That was enough for me. Convict him. But obviously the police need a bit more than that. But fuck me. A dead girl turns up in your car with matching tattoos with you? Fuck off. That's not a coincidence, that like. The internet then dug out this photograph, which was taken apparently 0.3 miles away from the home of Celeste Rivas before she went missing from her parents. So again, it's placing him in the area. Then the Discord chat screenshots start to appear online. And for those who don't know, this is just the way kids chat these days, basically. And in one of the chats, people who know him or fans of him are all chatting, pretty sure he's dating right now. What? Yeah, her name is Celeste. Doesn't confirm anything, but not a fucking good look. In another chat, David himself asks, is Celeste in here? And she then replies, hi, David. So we've got him talking to a girl called Celeste. Now, the girl known as Celeste in those chats actually deleted her profile, but the internet being the way it is, they know how to track like your ID number and to compare it with other things that profile has said in the past. And one guy made a little video about it.
I'm 14, I'm a minor. I can say whatever I want though, bro. Let's copy and paste this one. Copy user ID. The same ID. Then David goes, me and @user got a kid on the way. Hold on. Let's go through here. 3 dots, copy user ID. Same user ID.
So they've got David himself saying that they've got a kid on the way, and they've got her acknowledging that she's 14 and she's a minor. Now, could this have been faked? Maybe. I don't fucking know how this shit works, to be honest with you. But it's damning. It looks bad. And there were rumors that the body inside the trunk was actually pregnant at the time. That turns out to be not the case, according to police. Maybe she was pregnant. Maybe she lost the baby. Who the fuck knows? People are claiming to have been able to hack into his Discord record and find a way into his private messages with her where she is saying, my parents are so fucking annoying. This was years ago, by the way, 2022. So she would have been, I don't know, 11 or something then. They won't let me go and see you perform. He replies, don't worry, I'll fix it. Again, it could have been photoshopped, but my God, does it look bad. And Celeste's own mother told TMZ that she did know that she had a boyfriend and that his name was David. Fucking stacking up now, isn't it? Bloody hell. And she explains that the girl had been missing for more than a year. And look, you have to admit, the fact that she'd been missing this many times and that she was been missing for over a year, it doesn't reflect well on the family. But equally, that doesn't mean that they should take any responsibility for the fact that someone did this to her. And after she was identified as the body, one of her school teachers went on a bit of a rant about it in the classroom. And a kid in the classroom secretly recorded what he had to say about it.
That's her in my classroom. In front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because
that's crazy.
He's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
I really appreciate the kid who secretly recorded that. That was legendary work, by the way. And look, the teacher seems to be trying to make a point of social media being the devil, right? It's a dangerous fucking tool for kids out there. And this is a unfortunate, but a serious example of that. Her brother has apparently spoken to NBC Los Angeles, and he has told them that they were aware of the relationship with David. Last time he's seen her, she was apparently on her way to a movie with David, and she never came home after April 2024. However, there is some new CCTV footage that dropped in the last 24 hours that proves that what we've been hearing from the family is not the whole truth. Just to further fucking complicate this story, the video obtained by TMZ was recorded by a Nest camera on September 8, 2024. That's about 5 months after they claim she went missing and they last saw her, by the way.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
I ain't gonna let you talk.
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk?
Cause I'm not.
You tripping.
I ain't tripping.
Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk?
No,
Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why is she over here again?
He says, why are you over here again? She's like ranting at him. Bear in mind, she's just turned 14 years old. So he's saying, why are you over here again? So she's known for being a loudmouth, essentially.
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking.
No!
Yeah.
Okay, you get the idea. She's not the quietest of girls. And like, she's obviously raised in a working class area. And that sort of paints a better picture of like, why would a girl this young just run away into the arms of this guy? Like, this guy had a lot of money. A fuck ton of money, and he's probably telling her, I'll take care of you, yada yada yada. And if a child feels like she can stand outside her front door screaming at the neighbors at the age of just 14 years old, she's not someone who's worried about her parents, because most parents wouldn't let their kid go on like that in public, right? So we know that they're not strict and like overly concerned people on how she behaves and what she does. That's obvious just by that one clip, because they said, why do you keep coming over here and being like this sort of thing? So this wasn't a one-off. And the most important thing about all of this is, why the fuck, after you say you haven't seen your kid since April, when it's so vital to get the correct information from the people around her, are you being proven wrong by your neighbor's camera? Why are you been provably lying? That's massively questionable. That were they in on it? Were they aware and just turning a blind eye and like, look, this guy's got a lot of money? I don't know. We all remember what fucking Michael Jackson did with kids, right? And a lot of parents fucking facilitated that. Oh, are we still pretending that didn't happen? Sorry, he paid 20 million to a kid. Yeah, that didn't happen, right? Shit like this does happen sometimes. That's the darkness that we're dealing with. with you. And I'm not accusing them outright, but I'm questioning, why did they lie? I can't find the logic in why you wouldn't tell the exact truth when your daughter's missing and then she turns up dead. It's bizarre. And I think that needs to be explained. And now, a word from our sponsors. Be honest with yourselves, lads. Are you wearing t-shirts that just don't fit right? Are you as comfortable as what you should be when you're out and about? Well, there's one place that you need to go, and that is True Classic. I love True Classic because they are here to help you look good and feel good without having to break the bank. And they have nailed it. The feel, the price across your entire wardrobe, and actually the most comfortable pants I've ever worn. And with over 5 million happy customers and 200,000 positive reviews, you know you're in good company. I've been wearing True Classic for a while now, and you feel the difference as soon as you put it on. For example, the t-shirts, nice and tight on the arms, nice and relaxed and loose everywhere else. It's a bit of a cheat code for lads like myself. And they've sold over 25 million of them, so they must be doing something right. And they come with 100% perfect fit guarantee and super easy returns. So if you're sick of being ripped off by designer brands, or you're buying the cheaper stuff and then you're throwing it away because there's no quality there, True Classic is built for comfort and it's built to last. So level up your wardrobe now using my link in the description below. Big shout out to True Classic for saving the day as always, but for now, enjoy the video. Now, although David didn't cancel his tour when the body was first found, once it was identified, then he cancelled his tour. Only after we found out there was a 14-year-old girl in his trunk, not when it was just a dead body. And it really gives the impression I was just going to try and keep going and make money, but now it's time to lawyer the fuck up and hide away. It makes him look like a fucking psychopath. That I don't know anyone who would just continue about their day if a dead body was found in their car and just behave like nothing happened. That's a massive red flag. So he's gone from everything's normal, nothing out the ordinary, I'm not involved, to no social media posts, absolute silence, nothing to say, it wasn't me, I'm not involved, nothing like that. Silence. Then his home got searched.
A search warrant was executed at this Hollywood Hills home, the 1300 block of Doheny Place, a rental property where singer David may have been staying. LAPD detectives searched the home late Wednesday night, carrying out a laptop and other items. According to TMZ, the department's Scientific Investigation Division went in for 12 hours using luminol to look for trace amounts of blood.
Terrible. Just like how something like this can happen in this neighborhood.
The home is linked to the 20-year-old rising star, and so is the Tesla where the girl's dismembered body was discovered. Neighbors say it was parked out front for months before someone moved it down a few streets to Bluebird Avenue. That's where it was eventually reported abandoned and towed away to an impound lot. Days later, someone called police to report a foul odor, and investigators found the body in the front trunk.
I saw the car here a couple times, and it just was odd that it was parked, just like it was abandoned.
The Tesla is registered to the singer whose real name is David Anthony Burke. He rose to fame as a YouTube creator before releasing the 2022 song Romantic Homicide and several others. David has yet to publicly comment on the ordeal. In the midst of the investigation, he canceled one of his scheduled tour stops.
The fact that we've just seen a fucking bride with dead and knives and blood and all, that is fucking weird, given the circumstances. Some more connections to him and the young girl were later discovered when people really started digging into his social media. Clips like this, where they look at his obsession with Hello Kitty, which, as weird as he is, that just adds to the weirdness. You're a fucking 20-year-old dude, man. What the fuck are you doing? But apparently the girl was wearing Hello Kitty shoes when she went missing. And they both just happened to coincidentally, once again, same tattoos, same love of Hello Kitty. It's just all a coincidence, I'm sure. And on this TikTok, it says, when your card declines at therapy and they bring in that one Hello Kitty girl you met in 2021, people are assuming that she might be the Hello Kitty girl. And people are looking into his music deeper and deeper, as you can imagine, because he did use morbid lyrics and a lot of it was about death and murder, and some of it you could argue kind of ties him into the potential that he would do something like this.
I'm writing at this point about myself and my emotions and my vulnerability, and I wasn't doing that a lot last couple projects because I was homeschooled. Yeah, I didn't have nothing to talk about like that. And people were asking me, how'd you write all these beautiful songs when you have no relationship? And I was like, man, I'm a prophet, bro. I just spoke it into my own life. Like, it was a prophetic thing that I was speaking about heartbreak and love and all these things I had never experienced before. But then I actually experienced them. And it's like, yo, I really said this about myself 2 years ago.
I think he confuses being a prophet, which is something completely different, to manifesting things through his music, in that he is now experiencing maybe the dark, toxic relationships that he once dreamt of when he first started writing songs. And in some people's opinion, when he talks about things like murdering people, this is potentially now coming to reality. Now, in one of his songs, this is his alter ego and some girl he met, and it doesn't end well for the girl, which obviously this is anime. It's something that he was really into, and he becomes an evil murderer in this cartoon. And here he has chopped their arm off and dismembered and stabbed her through the stomach. It's very weird given everything that's happened in his actual life. And some will say it's just art. It doesn't mean he did anything. It doesn't prove anything, absolutely. But when a girl turns up dismembered in your car and you've been having girls' arms chopped off and stabbed them to death in your songs, it's fucking bizarre. And look, if he does get proven to be a murderer, I think you could absolutely look back at the lyrics and the concepts of his songs and go, this was in him for years before he actually committed it. And despite it, you know, basically being music that's depression music for fucking teenagers and about heartbreak and all of that, there are themes in there of death and killing. And there are rumors on that Discord that he had a fascination with gore videos, you know, where you get to watch people get violently killed and stuff. He was fucked up. Hasn't been socializing much, spent too much time on the fucking internet, and lo and behold, he's fucked up. I never thought I'd advocate for people going to public school, but fuck me. And then things get really weird around his music, because about a year ago, which would have been 4 months after Celeste went missing, or not missing, depending on who you believe, a person leaves a comment on the chat saying, drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Wow. Someone knew he was involved with her, without a doubt. And they also knew he'd made a song about her. How is this possible if you had nothing to do with her? That's one I'd like to see him answer in court. And lo and behold, the song Celeste has been found online as an unreleased song. Here it is.
Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes.
It's so fucked up, man. This is mental. This is going to be the song they play at the end of the Netflix documentary when he's convicted, isn't it? The lyrics read, oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh Celeste. Just lock them up. I don't even need to hear or say anything else. Just throw away the key. I don't even need to see the pictures and the video of them together, by the way, that we've also got. So this is taken backstage at a concert. There she is in the pink pants with a hoodie on. She's obviously trying to be very discreet. And you see her, that's her there. And that's his brother, apparently. There's her face there. You can tell it's her. Why would she be hiding? You're at a concert. Maybe it's because you're fucking, what is she, 13 at this point? She would have been 13. She wasn't even 14 at this point. She didn't turn 40 until September. This is in June 2024. Yeah, there you see her. Unbelievable. So here he is at one of his shows and he's waving up to someone at the top, which we now have a clip of, and that's clearly her. If you compare that screenshot to this picture of her here, it's her. We know it's her. There's other coincidences, such as this blue wig that she was pictured wearing here. She looks very young there. And him wearing the exact same blue wig. Just find it somewhere, did you, mate? This one is slightly harder to confirm, although it definitely looks like them. Someone took photographs of them in the mall on their way to Hello Kitty merch, apparently. Now, this is a picture I found of them together, which, I mean, that's it, really. You were with her. You know her. That isn't up for debate anymore. And yet, it gets worse because she was on a live stream with him. Now, before I press play here, you see what she's wearing. She's very covered up as she was at the live show that she went to. Big glasses on. She's wanting to show as little as possible of herself because she's trying to hide her age. And someone actually even made a joke before this recording started about David being on the Epstein flight list, which she acknowledged. And as I press play here, he tells her, like, I thought I media trained you to not acknowledge stuff like that.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
And that comment that he makes about delete everything is him telling the people who run his stream to delete it all, leave no trace of any of this. And the joke that she makes about him shagging kids or whatever, that's clearly her acknowledging that what he is doing is wrong. But she's just a little kid and she's just making a joke. She doesn't know like the severity of the situation. Clearly she's making a joke about it, but that puts him with her, and it blows my mind that he was able to do this in plain sight with her on a fucking live stream and no one say nothing. The only thing that complicates things slightly is that this guy was actually known to be going out with a woman actually, she was of age, called Celeste. Now yes, they've got the same name. That doesn't disprove any of the evidence that we've got on this guy. You were 100% hanging out with a underage girl. We've got it on video. We've got so much fucking evidence. It's not up for debate. And yet he's not been arrested yet. Now I can only assume that's because it's going to take a while to collect all the evidence because of how long she was sat there decomposing, and what a fucking horrible thought that is. And I know I can't prove anything, and this is all alleged and theoretical, but fuck me. A dead girl turns up in your boot named Celeste. You've got matching tattoos with her. You've been pictured and videoed with her. You wrote a song called Celeste, and while she was missing from her parents for months on end, which is a bit of a weird situation in itself, but she was hanging out with you as a 14-year-old girl. And then when the dead body turns up inside your trunk, you carry on performing as if nothing's happening. It would have to be so mental for someone else to have done this. It's not believable. The only thing I can possibly try and rack my brains to think of, like, how would he not have done it, is like, who was dumb enough to kill someone and then drag them into their own car and just leave them in their own car? Normally, when people do this, as sick as it is, they find a place to dump the body and they try and dispose of the evidence. He just left it in his own fucking car. Is he dumb enough to do that and literally lead all of the police to him? Yes, he is. I've got to say, I think he is. He's 20 years old, and this is a clip of him talking, and I just think he's very immature.
Whenever you go number 2 and you wipe, you're digging in your butt. I don't dig in my butt. I don't dig in my butt. You dig in your butt, twin, and you do it every day. When you wipe, you're digging in your butt.
I think he's very immature, very stupid, and he has a wild imagination. And on some level, this is all linked into him in his music and his lyrics. Like, he thinks this is like art almost. Like, I think that this is some weird and twisted shit going on in his head right now, because he takes his lyrics far too seriously. He thinks he's some sort of prophet because of what he says in his music. He's insane. And this gore obsession would not surprise me if it was totally true. Hence why he might have been able to chop that young girl's body up in his own house before putting it in the back of his car. And yes, someone else could have had access to his car, a friend, a close family member, maybe, but given the way he thinks in his lyrics and whatever, I think this was him. And I think that he put the body in the car thinking almost like, if I ignore it, it'll go away. No one will find out. It'll just disappear. And it'll be like it never happened. And he was so childish that he couldn't actually deal with the situation that he himself had created. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below how you've seen this all. I mean, there's just so much weird shit that's gone into this story. I can't fucking believe this, genuinely. It's one of the darkest things I have ever covered. And God bless that little girl, because what a horrible way for a young life to end. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you have enjoyed the video, as weird as this thing has been, hit the like button if you don't mind, and subscribe if you haven't already to the True Geordie YouTube channel. I'll see you on the next one.